Welcome to Mastering the Art of Constructive Dialogue. I'm glad you're here. Before we begin, find a comfortable and quiet place where you can focus. Grab a notebook and a pen. You'll want to jot down some key ideas and insights during this session. In this mini course, we'll explore practical ways to strengthen your conflict resolution and negotiation skills. These abilities are essential in every area of life, from team discussions and client meetings to leadership decisions and personal relationships. By mastering these skills, you'll not only reduce tension, but also turn potential conflicts into opportunities for understanding, innovation, and collaboration. Throughout this session, we'll uncover what makes dialogue truly constructive. You'll learn how to communicate with empathy, manage emotions effectively, and build win-win outcomes that leave lasting positive impressions. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Leave a comment below and share your location or your professional background. It's always great to see our global community growing together. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so you don't miss upcoming mini courses in English. Now, let's begin our journey into the art of turning conflicts into cooperation and conversations into meaningful progress. Chapter 1. Understanding Conflict and Negotiation. In this section, we will delve into the fundamentals of conflict and negotiation. Understanding these concepts is crucial for developing strategies that lead to constructive outcomes. Let's begin by exploring the nature of conflict and the role of negotiation. Conflict negotiation is more than just settling disagreements. It's a structured, thoughtful process designed to uncover what truly matters to each person involved. At its core, negotiation is about understanding needs, interests, and motivations, not simply about winning or losing. In any conflict, people often focus on positions, what they demand, rather than the deeper interests that drive those demands. For example, one person may insist on a specific outcome, while another resists it, not because they disagree with the goal, but because they fear losing recognition or fairness. When we shift from positions to interests, we begin to see the human side of negotiation. That's where real progress starts. Effective conflict negotiation seeks to build solutions that honor both logic and emotion. It's about creating understanding, not surrender. By identifying shared goals and aligning them with mutual respect, we move from confrontation to collaboration. This shift transforms potential tension into a foundation for stronger partnerships and trust. Successful negotiators listen actively, ask open questions, and show empathy without compromising boundaries. They focus on clarity and respect, ensuring every participant feels heard and valued. In doing so, the negotiation becomes a bridge, connecting different viewpoints toward a balanced, long-term resolution. Throughout this course, we'll explore how adopting this mindset can help you handle workplace challenges, client discussions, or even personal disagreements with greater confidence and emotional intelligence. Let's continue by understanding the psychology behind conflict and how awareness can turn even the most difficult conversations into opportunities for growth and understanding. Unresolved conflict is one of the most expensive and underestimated challenges within any organization. Studies show that workplace disputes cost the U.S. economy an astonishing $359 billion each year. On average, employees spend nearly 3 hours every week dealing with conflict instead of focusing on productive work. Imagine what could be achieved if that time and energy were redirected toward innovation, collaboration, and growth. Beyond financial loss, unresolved tension erodes team morale and trust. When conflict lingers, people begin to disengage. Communication breaks down, misunderstandings grow, and creativity declines. Instead of feeling inspired, employees may feel defensive or undervalued, which slowly eats away at organizational culture. Turnover is another hidden cost. Talented individuals often leave not because of their workload, but because of the environment surrounding them. Replacing those employees means spending time and money on recruitment, onboarding, and retraining. Meanwhile, the loss of institutional knowledge and team cohesion can take months or even years to repair. Conflict also affects reputation. Internally, it creates silos and resentment. Externally, it can influence how clients, partners, and even future employees perceive the organization. Companies that fail to address disputes risk appearing disorganized or lacking empathy. The good news is that conflict itself is not the enemy. Unresolved conflict is. When managed properly, it becomes a source of learning, creativity, and stronger relationships. Addressing it openly and respectfully transforms challenges into catalysts for improvement. Mastering conflict resolution isn't just about maintaining peace. It's about creating a thriving workplace where people feel safe, valued, and empowered to do their best work. Conflict often carries a negative reputation. We associate it with tension, discomfort, and division. Yet, if we pause and shift our perspective, we can begin to see conflict as one of the most powerful drivers of growth and innovation. Every disagreement reveals differences in ideas, values, and approaches, and within those differences lie opportunities to learn, adapt, and improve. When handled constructively, conflict acts as a mirror that reflects what needs attention. It highlights misaligned expectations, communication gaps, and unmet needs that, once addressed, can make teams stronger and more cohesive. In fact, many breakthrough ideas and creative solutions are born from healthy debate and open dialogue. The challenge is not to avoid conflict, but to channel it productively. Seeing conflict as an opportunity requires emotional intelligence and courage. It calls for curiosity rather than judgment, and collaboration instead of competition. By asking questions like, "What can we learn from this?" or "How can we move forward together?" we transform what could be a source of division into a shared process of discovery. Conflict also deepens relationships when handled with respect. It builds empathy and understanding, allowing team members to see one another's perspectives more clearly. Over time, this strengthens trust and resilience across the entire organization. So, is conflict a problem or an opportunity? The answer depends on how we approach it. When guided by openness and purpose, conflict becomes a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. It's not something to fear, but something to navigate, with awareness, respect, and the intention to build something better together. Chapter 2: Core Skills for Effective Conflict Resolution. In this chapter, we'll focus on the essential skills needed to manage conflict effectively. These skills are vital for transforming adversarial interactions into collaborative partnerships. Let's explore the core competencies that drive successful conflict resolution. Managing conflict and negotiating effectively require more than tactics or persuasion. They demand emotional intelligence, empathy, and the ability to connect with others even when opinions differ. Let's explore 6 essential skills that turn disagreement into understanding and tension into progress. The first is building connection. Trust is the foundation of any successful negotiation. When people feel respected and heard, they are more open to finding common ground. Take time to build rapport before discussing solutions. It sets the stage for collaboration instead of confrontation. Next is open dialogue. Transparency invites cooperation. By expressing your thoughts clearly and inviting others to do the same, you create space for honesty and mutual respect. Clear dialogue transforms potential conflict into constructive exchange. Active listening is equally vital. It means listening not just to respond, but to truly understand. When you acknowledge the emotions and perspectives behind words, you reduce defensiveness and encourage empathy. The fourth skill, emotional management, helps you stay centered. Conflict often triggers stress or frustration, but self-awareness allows you to pause, breathe, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Then comes creative problem-solving. Great negotiators look beyond fixed positions and search for innovative solutions that meet everyone's core needs. Flexibility turns deadlocks into breakthroughs. Finally, patience and resilience. Negotiation can be a long process. Maintaining composure and perseverance allows you to navigate uncertainty and build lasting agreements rather than quick fixes. Mastering these 6 skills empowers you to turn conflict into collaboration. With empathy, clarity, and steady focus, you can transform challenges into opportunities for growth and success. Emotional intelligence is often the hidden force behind the most effective negotiators. It's not about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself first. The ability to understand and manage your own emotions while empathizing with others transforms negotiation from a battle of positions into a bridge of understanding. The first key element is self-awareness. This means recognizing your emotional triggers, strengths, and blind spots. When you understand what drives your reactions, you can remain calm and deliberate, even in tense situations. A negotiator who knows themselves can better read and influence the emotional tone of the conversation. Next comes self-regulation, the art of staying composed under pressure. Instead of reacting impulsively, emotionally intelligent negotiators take a moment to pause, reflect, and choose a thoughtful response. This sense of control builds credibility and respect, signaling confidence without aggression. Social awareness is the ability to tune into the emotions and needs of others. Skilled negotiators read nonverbal cues, notice shifts in tone, and sense underlying concerns that may not be spoken aloud. This sensitivity allows them to adjust their approach and create a sense of connection and trust. Finally, relationship management ties it all together. It's about building long-term partnerships, not just winning one deal. By balancing assertiveness with empathy, negotiators foster collaboration and goodwill that extend far beyond the immediate agreement. Emotional intelligence turns negotiation into an act of empathy and strategy combined. When logic meets understanding, conversations flow more smoothly, relationships deepen, and outcomes become mutually rewarding. Chapter 3. Strategies and Approaches in Conflict. Negotiation. This chapter explores various strategies to enhance your negotiation skills. By understanding different approaches, you can tailor your strategy to fit the situation and achieve optimal results. Let's dive into the techniques that drive successful negotiations. In every negotiation, there's a choice: compete for power or collaborate for progress. Understanding this difference can completely transform the outcome. Power-based negotiation focuses on dominance, using authority, pressure, or leverage to win. It often feels like a tug of war, where each side pulls harder to gain control. While it may lead to short-term victories, it frequently damages relationships and breeds resentment, making future cooperation more difficult. Interest-based negotiation takes a very different approach. Instead of asking, "Who will win?" it asks, "What do we both need to succeed?" This method emphasizes shared goals and open communication. By uncovering each party's underlying interest, such as security, recognition, or fairness, negotiators can identify solutions that meet both sides' essential needs. For example, two departments might argue over budget allocation. A power-based discussion would center on who gets more money. An interest-based approach would explore why each department needs those resources, leading to creative solutions like shared tools or joint initiatives. The outcome is not just fair, but mutually beneficial. This method also builds trust. When people feel heard and respected, they become more willing to collaborate and less defensive. Tension de-escalates naturally, creating an environment where dialogue replaces confrontation. In the long run, interest-based negotiation leads to sustainable success. It nurtures relationships, inspires innovation, and strengthens teamwork. By focusing on what truly matters to everyone involved, you can transform conflict into cooperation and replace power struggles with partnership. Values-based disputes can be some of the most difficult to navigate because they touch the core of who we are, our beliefs, morals, and personal principles. Unlike conflicts over tasks or resources, value disagreements often feel personal. They can stir strong emotions and challenge our sense of identity. Yet, when handled skillfully, these conflicts can lead to greater empathy, understanding, and even transformation. The first strategy is separating interest from values. Many disputes that seem rooted in moral disagreement are actually about practical needs or misunderstood priorities. By distinguishing what's truly a value conflict from what's a matter of interest, we can find solutions without compromising core beliefs. Second, building relationships is essential. Trust provides the foundation for any honest dialogue. When people feel respected, they are more open to listening and considering different perspectives. Relationship building turns confrontation into conversation. Third, appealing to shared values helps create common ground. Even when two people disagree deeply, they often share universal values like fairness, safety, or respect. Emphasizing these shared ideals shifts focus from differences to unity, allowing collaboration despite contrasting worldviews. Finally, confronting differences directly takes courage but prevents resentment. Avoiding value conflicts only deepens division. Instead, approach them with curiosity and empathy, aiming to understand the why behind someone's beliefs. This fosters personal growth and mutual respect even when agreement isn't possible. When we approach value-based disputes with openness, humility, and intention, we move beyond trying to win and instead create the foundation for authentic human connection and meaningful resolution. Bridging divides. Through dialogue. By separating what we want from what we believe, we discover unexpected paths to agreement. This approach allows us to bridge divides and find common ground, leading to more effective and lasting resolutions. Chapter 4. Practical Techniques for Negotiation Success. In this chapter, we'll explore actionable techniques to enhance your negotiation skills. By applying these strategies, you can increase your likelihood of achieving successful outcomes. Let's examine the practical steps to negotiation success. Preparation is where every successful negotiation begins. Before you ever sit down at the table, the groundwork you lay determines whether you'll react to challenges or confidently lead the conversation. Effective negotiators know that preparation transforms uncertainty into clarity and anxiety into confidence. The first step is identifying your goals. Be clear about what you want to achieve and why it matters. Distinguish between your essential needs and your flexible wants. Knowing your priorities helps you stay focused when discussions get complex or emotional. Next, establish objective criteria. These are measurable standards that help guide fair decisions, such as data, market benchmarks, or professional guidelines. Objective criteria remove emotion from the equation and allow both sides to evaluate options based on facts rather than opinions. This builds credibility and reduces unnecessary tension. Another key step is scenario planning. Imagine different paths the negotiation could take: best case, worst case, and most likely outcomes. Prepare how you'll respond to each. This mental rehearsal helps you stay calm and strategic when surprises occur. Skilled negotiators also anticipate the other party's goals, pressures, and possible concessions. Research goes beyond numbers. It means understanding the people across the table, their motivations, communication style, and what success looks like from their perspective. When you can align your objectives with theirs, cooperation becomes far more likely. Ultimately, preparation is not about rehearsing a script, but building adaptability. The more prepared you are, the more flexible and confident you become. Every piece of research, every scenario you consider, and every goal you clarify lays the foundation for negotiation success. Preparation doesn't just increase your chances of a breakthrough, it makes you the calmest, most capable person in the room. Leadership in negotiation isn't about dominance. It's about influence, empathy, and strategic thinking. The best negotiators don't just reach agreements, they build partnerships that endure. Mastering these 7 core skills transforms good negotiators into great leaders capable of achieving breakthrough outcomes. 1. Design win-win outcomes. Great negotiators focus on solutions that benefit all parties. They think beyond immediate gains to create sustainable agreements that strengthen relationships and trust. 2. Listen first. Effective negotiation begins with listening, not just hearing words, but truly understanding motivations, fears, and goals. Listening uncovers hidden interests and opens the door to creative solutions. 3. Maintain emotional aptitude. Emotional intelligence anchors every interaction. Leaders who regulate their emotions stay composed under pressure, respond with empathy, and avoid letting ego derail the discussion. 4. Communicate flexibly. Adapt your tone, pace, and message to your audience. Whether analytical or intuitive, every counterpart has a different communication style. Flexibility allows your message to resonate and connect. 5. Know when to stop. Skilled negotiators recognize when continued pushing harms rather than helps. Sometimes, pausing or walking away preserves leverage and respect, and can even invite the other party back to the table. 6. Make it personal. Building authentic rapport transforms transactions into relationships. A sincere connection fosters goodwill, reduces defensiveness, and increases cooperation. 7. Prepare deeply. Preparation is the quiet foundation of every success. Knowing your data, your goals, and the other side's perspective ensures confidence and credibility from start to finish. When these 7 skills work together, negotiation becomes less about winning and more about leading, guiding both sides toward outcomes that inspire trust, respect, and shared success. One of the most striking examples of negotiation mastery in modern business is Microsoft's $7.2 billion acquisition of Nokia's mobile division. This deal illustrates how preparation, strategic vision, and emotional intelligence can turn a high-stakes, complex negotiation into a landmark agreement. At the time, both companies faced intense market pressure. Nokia needed a strategic partner to regain competitiveness, while Microsoft sought to strengthen its mobile ecosystem against Apple and Google. The path to agreement was anything but easy. It involved months of setbacks, internal resistance, and cultural differences. The key success factors behind this deal included strategic patience. Both sides allowed time for mutual understanding and internal alignment rather than rushing to close prematurely. Persistence. Despite multiple breakdowns, negotiators maintained open communication channels and a shared focus on long-term goals. Creative concessions. Microsoft offered solutions that balanced financial, operational, and emotional needs, ensuring both parties felt respected and valued. Long-term vision. The negotiation was not just about short-term profits, but about reshaping the future of mobile technology and digital ecosystems. Ultimately, this acquisition highlighted a central truth. Successful negotiation is not about overpowering the other side, but about aligning interests toward a shared future. Even though the long-term business outcomes evolved differently than expected, the process itself remains a benchmark in strategic negotiation and leadership resilience, proving that with preparation, empathy, and persistence, even the most complex deals can reach breakthrough success. Chapter 5. Overcoming Challenges and Difficult People. This chapter focuses on strategies to handle difficult situations and individuals. By understanding these challenges, you can develop techniques to maintain productive dialogue and achieve successful outcomes. Let's explore how to navigate these complexities. When emotions rise, even small disagreements can quickly become personal battles. The key to managing hostility in any negotiation is to focus on the issue, not the individual. By separating people from the problem, you prevent destructive personal attacks and keep the conversation productive. One of the most powerful tools you can use is strategic empathy, the ability to understand the other person's emotional state without necessarily agreeing with their point of view. Empathy reduces defensiveness, creates psychological safety, and opens the door to genuine cooperation. Equally important is self-awareness. Recognize your own emotional triggers and fears before entering a difficult conversation. When you understand what drives your reactions, you can respond calmly and assertively instead of reacting impulsively. Approach tense situations with composure and curiosity rather than judgment. Ask open-ended questions, listen actively, and acknowledge emotions on both sides. This shifts the dynamic from confrontation to collaboration. Remember, emotions are not obstacles to avoid. They are signals to understand. When handled with empathy and clarity, even moments of tension can strengthen relationships and lead to more authentic, lasting agreements. When negotiations are approached with a win-lose mindset, the goal becomes to defeat rather than to collaborate. This mindset limits creativity, destroys trust, and often leaves both sides unsatisfied in the long run. To move beyond this, shift your focus from competition to value creation, from "how can I win" to "how can we both benefit?" This small change in thinking transforms conflict into cooperation and opens the door to innovative solutions neither side could achieve alone. Ethical negotiation is grounded in honesty, transparency, integrity, and fairness. These principles not only protect your reputation but also build credibility and trust, the true currency of lasting partnerships. The most effective negotiators don't just divide value, they create new value that didn't exist before. They look for shared goals, expand the pie, and ensure that all parties leave the table with a sense of respect and achievement. In the end, success in negotiation isn't measured by who won, but by how sustainable, balanced, and mutually beneficial the outcome becomes. Congratulations on completing Mastering the Art of Constructive Dialogue, Conflict Resolution, and Negotiation Skills. Throughout this journey, we explored what conflict negotiation truly means, not as a battle to be won, but as a process of understanding and collaboration. You learned the real cost of unresolved disputes and how to view conflict as an opportunity for growth. We discussed the 6 essential skills of connection, open dialogue, active listening, emotional control, creative problem solving, and resilience. You discovered the power of emotional intelligence, the difference between interest-based and power-based negotiation, and strategies for resolving values-based disputes. We also explored how preparation, empathy, and ethical principles lead to effective agreements that last. With the right mindset and tools, every disagreement can become a bridge to stronger relationships and innovation. Your next negotiation could be your greatest breakthrough. Start by listening actively, staying open, and seeking solutions that benefit everyone. Thank you for joining this free mini course. If it brought you value, you can support our mission of spreading accessible education through the donation link in the description. Your certificate of completion is also available in the description. Download it, share it proudly, and tag pveduca.com on LinkedIn so we can celebrate your success. Explore more English mini courses on this channel and continue developing skills that make a global difference. pveduca.com is expanding worldwide, connecting learners who believe in collaboration, growth, and positive impact. Together, let's keep transforming conflict into opportunity and learning into progress.